Another powerful episode that I just couldn't get my eyes off it. Like Abejoye is now about to face another great battle. Hey guys, welcome back to Sahara Movies. My name is Lydia and I'm your host for today. If you are new to the channel, please do well to subscribe. So yes, this episode 3 was just something else that I'm sure you can attest to it, how you were shaking on your seat or wherever you were watching Abejoye season 3. Season 6, episode 3. So now let's go straight into it. I'll talk about the entire video and then we have some expectations. Let's get started. So it started with what happened the last week during Bamidele's encounter with the traditionalist himself. And I even posted a poll on my community if Bamidele will greet the traditionalist. Like, I was also wondering, will he greet him or not? Because it was obvious that he wouldn't greet him because he already knows what the traditionalist did or what he can do. So he would desist from shaking hands with him. That is what we all thought. I'm sure that is what you thought as well. But then we saw something extraordinary, something more powerful than that. You know, sometimes you shouldn't even be praying to stay away from trouble. You should pray to face the trouble and to show the trouble that you are there, like you have come prepared. And that is what Bamidele did. He showed the traditionalists that he had come prepared, like he was prepared. You could tell the way he was preaching to him. You know, the Lord says that bad things will befall the wicked. If you think you want to plan bad against the people of God, you are going to end up, it's going to backfire. It's going to come back directly at you. And that is what kept Bamidele really on his feet. He prepared himself. He really did. And this talks about preparation. You don't expect to lie down and expect a miracle to happen. You need to take a step. You really, really need to put a foot forward and take a step. Else, nothing is going to happen. Because when Bamidele prayed, he felt more confident. Imagine if he hadn't prayed. He would be very timid. He would be very scared. He would be thinking, what would this Henry guy do to me? What has this Henry guy caused to my family? Like, he'll be really acting on irrationality. Like, he will be acting on emotions because of what has happened to Sister Dedun and all that. But then he prayed. He prepared himself. So my lesson here is that you should pray and prepare yourself, because one way or the other, the battle is going to come your way. Whether you are prepared or not, it is going to come your way. But then when you are prepared, you are more confident. You have a sound mind. You are level-headed. So yes, this is what I've given to you on Bamidele's case. And when Henry shook his hands, I'm sure he was surprised at the time that Bamidele decided to shake his hands. He shook his hands at his own terms, I don't know why Henry was rushing. Like, he was really, really rushing to bring him down. You just enter someone's house. Instead of him being the one to welcome you, you are welcoming him. Like, who does that? When you visit someone, isn't the person rather supposed to welcome you? But you are the one rather welcoming the person because you have a very negative mind towards the person. Anyway, I'm happy with the response. I'm happy with the results that came out from Bamidele's case, that even though he shook his hands, he showed him that, you cannot mess with me like that. Like, you cannot mess with me. And I'm happy that Henry got a share of his own cake. Like, he really tasted his own medicine. He really had a taste of his own medicine. I'm really, really happy. I'm really happy that Bamidele didn't stay away from shaking their hands, but then something happened. He didn't do this alone, because at that time he spoke to his father and explained everything to him, that daddy, this is the guy. He said he's coming to my place, and Dedun has been able to speak and told us what happened and all that. Mr. Abejoye, Baba Abejoye, didn't also relax. He stood on his feet and prayed. Like, he really, really prayed. He really, really, really prayed against it, that whatever the devil is planning against my son, against his family, he prayed against it. So I think that preparation takes us far. Preparation and prayers take us far. So let's learn something from it. Back into the village where the whole drama happened. We saw in the previous episode that Kinkin-yinun has been kidnapped. Like, he's been kidnapped, or he's been abducted. She's been abducted. And I was wondering, why would they abduct this lady? Like, she's someone who has decided to live this witchcraft and all that, and she's not really bothering anyone. So why would they take their business to her. I really didn't get her business in this picture. But then I really understood it. They want to get to Abejoye, so they want people who are connected to him. That's how come they got to Abejoye's son and it has befallen before them. And now they are passing to someone who is connected to him. We all know they want to take the throne from Abejoye. The king is making a throne from Abejoye. And that thing, you can only take it from him if he's dead, or if he's passed on, or he has declared that he doesn't want it, or he's not feeling well, or he's sick. These are the three conditions that should affect a case maker to be dethroned or to be taken out from his seat. But then the man is well fit, he's well to do, he's feeling well, he's strong, he's alive. So why are you planning such dubious things against him? And the devil is always looking for something to do. I'm really wondering why, if you want to attack Abejoye, you don't go straight to him. You are there sending bribes and all that. Like, who how dare you? You don't even have the guts to go and face the man yourself. You are just sending people to do it. Like, I was really expecting the upcoming case-maker who wants the position so bad to go and face Abejoye himself. Like, if he thinks he's that powerful, he should go and face Abejoye himself, because I don't understand why he's sending people from all angles to go and, confront Abejoye. Meanwhile, you are there, you think you're powerful, you have money and all that. Go and do it yourself. Like, I don't get it. Go and do it yourself. It's because the man is powerful, so you are taking a step back. And that makes you a coward. Because if you want to vie for such a powerful position, a kingsmaker, why then should you be sending people to do your work for you? Like, why? Because a leader is a kingsmaker is a leader, and a leader should be willing to lead his people. If you really want that position, be the man. Go and face the chief. Go and face the king himself. Go and face Abejoye himself. But why then do you send these musketeers to go and do your job for you? And I'm happy that, at least one way or the other, there are bad ones and there are good ones. At least there's one chief who has morale, who has good morale, who is grateful for what Abejoye has done for him, who is grateful for what Abejoye's God has done for him in his life. So he blatantly declared that he is refusing every money. He's refusing every bribe and corruption and all that. And I'm also happy that the king himself has stayed out of it. Like, money has a way of being a very good influence or a bad influence. Like, money affects people one way or the other. If you want something to be done quickly, you introduce money, it's done quickly. But there are people who have values, there are people who have morals that money cannot buy them. Like, money cannot just buy them. And I'm happy that at least the leader of the community or the village, the king himself, cannot be bought with money. Because if the king himself can be bought with money, then it means the whole village is going astray. So I'm happy that the king himself is confident in his position. He has integrity, he has good morals. That's why he cannot accept that bribe. Now, going back to why they kidnapped the Doom, and Kinkin-yinun. I'm not really sure with her name pronunciation, but I know you know who I'm talking about. She's been kidnapped. Like, you are sleeping and they've kidnapped you. That was the point that there was a lot of temptation. Like, it really happens to all of us. Like, whether you are strong in faith or not, temptations will come your way. When Kinkin was kidnapped, you could hear the voices that were playing in her head, and that was the moment of truth. That was the moment of, like, trial. God really needed to test her if she was very strong in her faith. Like, is she really strong in her faith? Because at that moment, she could have just denounced the name of the Lord and then gone back to her witchcraft and all that. But she still stood on her grounds. Like, I really, really liked what she did. For a second, I was a bit confused. I was like, will she accept the voices that are speaking to her head, or she will still stay on her grounds and pray? Or, like, I was really, really confused. And that is when the miracle happened. The rules that these people or these disposers, they call themselves disposers, they have for themselves is that when they are given a task, they get the task, they do their job, and then they are done. Like, you do it and then you are done with it. You just get your hands off it. But then this time around, I like what happened. There was no miracle anywhere, but there was confusion. Like, there was serious confusion. And I really like the confusion so much. I'm like, wow. Like, this is the perfect way to deal with these people. Confusion. Yes. And the Lord will say that He really set your enemies to be confused. They'll be confused. And that was what happened. They were confused. 3 people sent to do a job, and now these 3 people are confused. They ended up, pointing the guns at each other. I feel this is the best miracle that Kinkin has received in this movie. This is the best. There's nothing like people disappearing and all that, but this is the best. Like a clear something happened, something that is in the Bible really happening in real life. Like, I was really happy at the confusion. And like, I really liked how Kinkin was also not afraid. Like, initially, this is a natural thing to be scared. You've been kidnapped. Naturally, it should make you scared. Like, you're a human being. Life is very important to you. Even no matter how depressed you are, your life is very precious to you. So initially, she was very scared. But then when she realized that someone has paid them to do such a nasty job, and she knew that she had a God, a powerful God, there was no way she would sit down and close her mouth and then cross her legs. No, she had to speak the words. She had to let God know that I believe in you, so please do something. And this was the first time God is working a miracle for her. There's been several attempts on her life, but then she has always stood strong in faith. So I'm happy at the result, even though I didn't expect Ruga to be to end up this way. But I'm happy that at least the final result is that Kinkin, or their target, was released. Like, their target was released. So this new Kingsmaker, now I don't know why you want to have a position with force. Like, you want to grab a position with force with your forehands, with your claws and all that. Meanwhile, it is not your turn. Meanwhile, you're not using the right means. And he's also a young man. At least, ideally, you should understand that Abejoye is an older man. So, according to the natural sequence of life, he may actually leave the surface of the earth before you. You are a young man. You have a lot of years ahead of you. So why don't you target such an old man, such an innocent, someone who is thinking about himself? Anyway, back to the final scene. Abejoye is a final task. They were not able to succeed with Kinkin. Now, Abejoye. These are different set of disposers, people who are getting the job done. So Abejoye was in his sleep. I think because he was giving a warning about what is coming his way. Like, he really appreciated that information that he received from the chief, that the chiefs are planning against you. They want to demote you. They want to remove you from the throne, from your position. So because of that, he was very alert. He was praying and all that. So Abejoye was just lying down peacefully, and then the angel appeared and let's go and have a chit chat in the hall. So that was a dream, but then I don't know if Abejoye stood up from his bed to go and have the chit-chat, or because the angel appeared, he wasn't fully asleep. So maybe something was happening. But according to these disposers, they came out to tell the aspiring Kingsmaker, the forceful aspiring Kingsmaker, that they have done the job. So I'm a bit confused. Did they really do the job? We saw them putting a pillow on his head. So I don't even understand. After all that confidence, taking the guns and the knives, they go there and use a pillow. Like, who does that? Why won't you use a faster means and then just run away? You go there and use a pillow, calling yourself a mean guy, someone who knows the job. You go and use a pillow. Anyway, now to some expectations. Now I think that now that Sister Dedun is fine, she's coming back to Nigeria to join her husband. I'm happy that she's finally gotten a closure to whatever she has faced in her life. I'm really happy she's gotten a closure. So at least she's coming back to her family to, just continue with her life. Sometimes we need to learn a lesson. Sometimes we really need to learn a lesson, because I don't know what advice they've given to Sister Dedun that they've not given to Sister Dedun. I mean, She's received a lot of advices, but sometimes you really need to have the experience itself, because if you don't really know the consequences of their actions. So I'm happy that Sister Didon went through that hectic moment in her life, and it has really taught her so much sense. So when we are going through a lot of challenges, we should know that I think there are lessons in it, and we should learn lessons from them. Now my next scene. Now Kinkin will have to find out who really targeted her life. Like, who really targeted her life. It doesn't matter though, but sometimes being ignorant is not good. So at least if you know who targeted your life, you have a prayer point. You know who you are praying against. Like, you know where your weapon is going to. So I'm hoping that, or I believe that Kinkin will find out who really targeted her life. And it's something she will do easily, because you know her, when she's furious, she goes all mad and all that. So I think she'll go and find out who had a hand in his life. Like, funny enough, I think Abejoye will be the one to tell her that, okay, I think it is the new upcoming or aspiring case-maker who initiated all this. I don't think Abejoye will lose his life, because I don't think he lost his life, because I don't think it's like, it's not possible. I don't know how to say it, but it is not possible. He's going to survive every bit of it. And that's aspiring case maker, he's just tasting the tip of the iceberg. That's just the tip of the iceberg. All his failures are just the tip of the iceberg, unless he decides to get rid of all the people who refuse to make him a case maker. I'm ending with Bamidele's family. I think that they are also going back on track, and their family is really recovering from whatever they went through. I'll be ending here for today. Let me know what you think about this episode. For me, I think this episode was just too better. Like, it was good. I really enjoyed this episode, and I'm sure you also did. Let me know what you think about it. And the next episode will be released on the 8th of January 2023, and that will be episode 4. I don't know if that will be the final episode, but I think that will be the final episode, because it actually looks like it's getting to the end of the season. I can't wait to watch the next episode. Till next time, please let me know what you think about this one. Bye.